Hi, thanks for joining us. My name's Sam. Welcome to my channel. On today's video we're going to be looking at my Audi 2.6 V6. Just a quick look through to see what it's going to need to get it back on the road, what's sort of going on with it, the condition, etc. and go from there. So first things first, he's been stood for a little while, so we're going to steal the battery off my other car just to get it started and move. So we're going to steal the battery off my Audi 80 Cabriolet 1.8 20 valve. Battery's now all fitted up for my hotel. Let's get this thing started and pull her out. There's a bit mouldy in here at the minute. Full of loads of stuff as well. But let's see if we get any lights on there. It's looking good so far. I do know the oil light flashes on this because there's a sensor faulty. She is a bit tappy at the minute, it's not been started for probably about a year. Sounding a lot more quieter now. Got a bit of heat in it. It's been 12 months good, so not too bad. But I think the first thing to start with is to get rid of this wheel off of here, this flat tyre. Get that sorted. So just at first glance, I mean, we're looking, definitely the brake discs are going to need doing. I would say they've been stood for a long time. Hopefully the calipers are okay, but you never know. Got quite a bit of meat left on the brake pad there. CV boot looks a bit greasy, but it might need replacing on that. Shock absorber's definitely leaking. There's going to need a new shock at least on this side here. These anti-roll, I think it's like, I mean, they look pretty good to be fair. Maybe worth while it's apart just to change those. Just get a lever bar and see what the old bushes are like at the bottom. So we're underneath the car now. I mean, while we're here, we'll have a quick look underneath. I mean, the engine doesn't look too bad. A few little minor oil leaks, which you kind of expect for the age of the vehicle. Just see what these arm bushes are like. Just getting in on this on the floor, that is the only problem. Oh yeah, they're well shot. Definitely shot on those. We can get a video shot of that, but they are fully debonded and no loads of play in there. What about the rear end one? Not too bad on the rear one, but very rusty nonetheless. So I think they're due for a change. I think the ball joints definitely be worth doing as well while we're here. Underside looks pretty good from here though, to be fair. We did fit a new starter motor at some point. probably about 2.5 years ago now, because it's been sort of here, there and everywhere, this car. So the spare wheel was absolutely knackered on this one, properly corroded, tyre was hanging. I went a bit like this one over here. It's just looking very similar, to be honest. Real bad corrosion all around. I mean, the tyre was absolutely perished and cracked as anything on the spare. So I actually took the spare off and had it refurbished, new tyre on it, ready to go, but I just obviously have to do the rest of them now. But yeah, it's looking way better than the old one. I mean, there's a few little pit marks in sort of around the wheel there, but obviously a fresh tyre on it. Nothing spectacular, but it gets it on the road. Alright, let's see what the play's like in the wheel now it's back on, see if there's anything else there. And yeah, those arm bushes are completely knackered. I'll throw a shot in of what they look like whilst I'm wobbling the wheel. So just jacking it up to have a look at the play and what's going on the near side of the car, but then just notice these puddles of oil that have appeared. One I would say is coming from the sump plug. It's driven quite badly from there. The other one, not too sure, maybe the power steering. It's got a brake accumulator on these Audis, even on my convertible it's got the same. So it does look like it's coming out of that pipe there. So need a bit of further investigation on this. Going back to the near side of the car, I mean this lower arm actually looks quite new compared to the other one. It's not quite as rusty. But we'll check and see what sort of plays in the wheel, what the bushes are like. They look okay, but you just never know really. I think we're just going to replace the lot. Again, brake disc is in pretty poor condition. Pads still look plenty of life in them, but this disc has been sat around for so long, they're just not in great condition at all. It may even be worth at some point to do these brake hoses, but only got some slight perishing on them, so don't go too mad. And the shocker's looking a little bit weaky this side as well, not quite as bad as the other side, but definitely would be worth doing them in a pair. Always the best cause on those. Same as the bump stops, they are a bit broken now, so probably worth changing them at the same time. Pretty good to do the top mounts as well. Yeah, properly delaminated these bushes. I mean that's quite a fair bit of movement there. I don't know if you can see that on camera. But yeah, not great. I know the previous owner, when he had it, he could say it wasn't driving too well on the suspension wise, which is not surprising with the bushes like that. I mean, you can almost see it there splitting out. Obviously checking on the rear brakes and wheel bearings and play and stuff. You're going to need to release the handbrake. Maybe stick it in gear just so it doesn't roll away. All good. We check side to side play, up and down, and oh, AC is that lovely on this one. So it may need a new caliper on this back bit. But the brake condition, I ain't going to bother taking the wheels off on this one. But you can see the brake disc doesn't look great. Pads are quite low in the rear, but I would say is potential that it needs a caliper, but we won't know until we get it apart. And looking under here, shock absorber's not leaking. Spring's a bit rusty, but nothing too bad. Exhaust looks like it could do with some new clamps on there. It looks like they're going to rust away there a bit. It's maybe worth changing them. The exhaust's always very good on these old Audis, to be honest with you. They seem to last very well. Again, same this side. Up and down play, left to right. And again, it is pretty seized this side, but it is sort of moving. It could be that it's just where it's been stood. It is sort of freeing up, so possibility it's just needs to be cleaned out and redo. And especially look at this. This valve is absolutely splitting at the bottom there, so that's definitely going to need changing. But we are going to refurb all the wheels and change the tyres as well. I mean, this one doesn't actually look too bad. It's got some pretty good tread on it. It's not actually that perished. Maybe good for a spare perhaps. But yeah. The car will look sweet once these wheels are all the same as these ones. Get the centre caps all painted and all the car cleaned, because at the minute it is absolutely covered in green moss and the look is peeling and all sorts of stuff there. So I think we've had a look at that. I think it's definitely going to need all the front suspension, so shock absorbers, anti-roll bar links, track rod ends. I think they're worth doing because they're going to be seized, lower arms, ball joints. Obviously definitely the shocks because they are leaking, so just change the pair of those, I think, get that done. Rear end wise, I would say discs and pads at a minimum. Hopefully the calipers aren't seized, which will be a shame because obviously we're trying to keep this, you know, to a budget really. The car's not, you know, worth loads of money, but it'd be nice to see it back on the road, just get it some shows, have a little ride around in it. Obviously got other projects on at the minute as well, so putting more money into those. Obviously got the Audi S3 8L and the Audi 80 Cabriolet, so we will be seeing those in the future. Got some bits coming up and plan with those, so look forward to that. Yeah, and carrying on. Well, thanks guys for tuning in and watching my video today. Please like, subscribe and comment. That would really help me out. Anything positive, negative, anything I could do better always helps, you know, getting the best videos I can do. And look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.